What's up, everyone? Hoping you're having a great day today. Today is October 6th, 2022, and I'd like to introduce myself again. I'm Jacob Williams, the host of the Moving Forward podcast with Achilles International, Connecticut, and today is my guest, Marilyn Wenzel. Marilyn, how are you doing today, by the way?
I'm well, thank you. I just got back from the gym.
Do you have a specific training regimen that you follow every time you go?
Yes, we do.
Could you explain to me what that is exactly?
Okay, what we usually do is we usually start. It depends on what end that I start on. Sometimes I start with my arms, and I do my arms, and then there's days that I'll do my legs, and then my arms. And then I do crunches, and then I do what I call the hammer, which is more or less, I can't think of what they call it, but anyways, and I depends on the equipment that I use, that the weight on it, and how many times I do it.
So do you like using like more heavy weights with less reps, or are you more of a less weight, more reps kind of person?
More or less, less weight, more reps.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's always a positive side effect of both, but personally, I'm more of like a more reps kind of guy, just because if you have less weight, you can have it. It just like burns the muscles. I feel like a little bit more. Like do you feel that too?
Yeah, and you got to realize, I'm a young 79-year-old woman.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm sure you're fine being 79 and stuff. You'll be fine. all that weight's lightweight.
Yeah.
So tell me. So you told me that you were partially blind. Do you know like the specific kind of?
I am legally blind.
You are so you're fully blind.
Well, I have. They consider me legally blind.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see the eye chart any longer. I use a cane, and I have very, very, very little vision.
Interesting. And is that why you decide to mostly walk whenever you do cardio?
It's a lot more easier for me.
So I understand that you did your first 5K run recently.
I did one in March. I wanted to do March, or I think it was March. Yeah. We were supposed to. There was one in May that we didn't do. I was very disappointed because I had COVID at that time, so I wasn't able to do it. So now I'm able to do the Hartford Marathon, which is October 8th.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm ready to go.
You're all set. You've been training a lot for it.
Yes.
You think you'll So I'm assuming do you have a guide with you when you do this, or you just use your cane?
No, I have this time. What they're giving. I usually have one guide, but this time they're giving me two, because there's a young lady that's training to be a volunteer. Mm-hmm. So I'll have. I gather. I guess I'll have one on each side. Usually when I do my races, what I do is hold hands. I rather hold hands than to tether. It's easier for me. So I do that, and the person that's walking, and then we run a little bit, guides me.
So you ever think you could ever work your way up to full on jogging or running anytime soon? If I'm assuming that if they keep holding your hands, you have two people on either side. As long as you don't I guess twist your ankle on a pothole or something, I could see that you could.
They're guiding me, so I don't have to worry about that. I got two people that are guiding me. Each one. This time it's each on each side of me. That's how they're doing it.
Yeah.
I've never done it. This is the first time I've ever done it this way. I've never done it that way. I've always had one guide.
And this is your first time with two?
No, this is not my first time for two guides. Yeah, but not my first time racing. Right.
Mm. So, how'd you meet up with Achilles then? If this is your first race with us.
Okay. I belong to the National Blind Association, and this November 4th, 5th, and 6th is National Blind Convention, and we're having our convention up in Hartford, Sheridan, up in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, that weekend. And this month, right now, is National Blind Month,
Hmm.
and October 15th is National Blind Day.
Why is it that they have a month and a day?
That's what I understand.
Huh. That's that's cool. I mean, like, I just do they like what do they usually do for that kind of stuff? Like, what kind of sell?
Well,
I mean,
we just put it out there that we just spoil it like this month is National Breast Cancer Aware Month,
mm-hmm.
and then this month is also National Mental Health Month. And so we share with the other two people, the other two groups,
yeah.
And we're National Blind.
That's kind of, I can see like it working with like within the month thing. It's just I don't think I've ever heard something of doing a day and a month. Like you have like you just said, like there's a mental awareness month, but I don't think there's like a mental awareness day kind of thing. So it's just
no, probably not. But maybe I might be wrong. It might be just mental. I mean, just might be National Blind Month.
Maybe. Yeah, that's cool. I did not know that it was this month. That's interesting.
Yep, October.
Did they do anything different every year? Like, do they have like a specific like you wouldn't really celebrate being blind, but like do they have any events that they do?
No.
No.
I mean, I belong to the National Blind Association. Also, we have a meeting once a month, and our chapter has a meeting once a month in Milford, and basically that's it. But it's just to make people aware that we're blind.
Do they have like Instagram or a website that they utilize for like awareness?
Not that I know of. I will let you know that BESB is the Vision of the Blind Board of Education, State of Connecticut, is doing an article on a friend of mine this month to let people know that she's gainfully employed full time. Yeah. So what they're doing is letting people know, and also we have a paper that goes out once a month where people can read our paper. We can read it, I should say, the national people that belong to the National Blind Association.
Are you just simply a member, or are you part of like the e-board or the?
I'm right now. I'm the vice president of our chapter.
So like, what exactly do you do then? If you're the vice president?
Actually, we reach out to let our let people know that we're having our meeting this month, and if we have, what we do is it's more a social gathering for blind people, because I have to tell you, it's difficult when you're visually impaired, because not everybody goes out. Some of us don't go out very much. Some of us are in. We do get trained to use a cane. We do get trained from the Vision of the Blind Board of Education. A gentleman does come out and train us with our cane and helps us with that. But what happens is that not very many people, really, as far as being unsighted, get out there. It's difficult. I gotta tell you, it's difficult for us. And a lot of times, what happens, it depends on people themselves. They don't know how to handle a blind person. It's like, I mean, they'll what they'll do with us is they'll turn around and they'll say, like, for instance, my hair, I color my hair, and it's pink right now. Oh, what pretty pink hair you got! And diverse, what it does, it doesn't attract to like, oh my God, this lady's blind, she got a cane. Or what happens a lot of times with us too is people just ignore us and just walk by us like we don't exist.
Hmm.
And then other people, what happens is like, oh, I feel so sorry for you because you're blind. No, don't feel sorry for me because I'm blind.
Mm-hmm.
And if I need help, I'll ask you for help. If I don't need help, I won't ask you. And restaurants usually are really good with us. If we go to a restaurant, they help us.
Yeah.
We also we get transported with the Greater New Haven Transit, and then the paratransit. Um, and also when I take the train, when I take the train, what I do is I go up to the teller, the window where I get my ticket, and I'll tell them, I'm going to need assistance. And usually what they do at the railroad station, what they do is they help me. Somebody helps me, get on the train, and then what they'll do is I have to, listen for the stop, and then a friend of mine will meet me, like I go to New York. My friend will meet me down there in New York.
Were you born blind, or was this like
Yes.
you
Yeah.
were?
No, I was born totally blind, and they did a lot of surgeries on me, major surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
And about 5 years ago, I got a cornea transplant. That didn't work. I got glaucoma. I got a lot of visual problems,
Hmm.
and I learned how to just maneuver around.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it like early on? Was it always like just you had to use a cane, or
No,
it
I
started out as
haven't.
like?
No, I just started. I worked. I was gainfully employed for years. I
Mm-hmm.
did work. I had children. I
Yeah.
have grandchildren, and I have great grandchildren.
Hmm.
I got married. As time went on, and it happens when people get older. You do lose. Some people lose their vision. They lose their hearing, and with people and that's what happened with me. It continues. My cornea was going, and they tried to do a transplant, and it didn't work.
Hmm. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But
Hmm.
when you do have a transplant, it only lasts for so long, and then they have to give you another transplant for a cornea. So
Really? Wait. Why?
yeah,
Why?
oh, yeah,
Why does it deteriorate?
because it
Like
dies. I
it
have no
dies?
idea why. Yeah, the cornea dies. I don't know why.
Like a battery? Like it just cuts out? Like if it loses power
It
or something?
slowly. Your vision gets worse and worse and worse.
Hmm. So like you would say, uh, like that you have to replace it like what every year, every
Every two
five
to three
years?
years. Every 2 to 3 years,
Oh.
usually.
Hmm. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there was I don't know who said this, or it's just like because you were born blind and stuff. That's a lot different than say someone who had normal vision before, and they eventually went blind and stuff. And I don't know if this applies to you, but I heard there was like a rumor essentially, or some quote saying that people who were born blind, they don't necessarily miss sight in a way, because like
Exactly.
you
That's
don't.
right. That's what happens. Right.
Yeah.
See, now I'm losing my sight, and I'm more frustrated. It's more difficult for me because, I was born blind. I got sight. Not really good sight, but I got sight.
Mm-hmm.
They always considered me legally blind because they only could see the eye chart, the big E. But like I said, I was able to work, have children, and things like that. And there was things that I missed. I didn't, there's things that I didn't see. I can't see. I can't read. I couldn't read small print. There were certain things that I couldn't do because of my vision.
Yeah.
And that's just one of those things. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Hmm. So, I heard you like autobiographies, by the way. You're a big fan of those. You have like a favorite book you like to read specifically?
I always liked James Patterson.
James Patterson. I never heard of him. Is he the?
He writes oh my gosh, bizarre stuff. It's science. It's more fiction than true.
Yeah. Does he write autobiographies usually, or is it?
No, that's a fiction book. And I like that. I'm sorry, take that back. I like autobiographies, and I like uh, James Patterson. Like I said, with James Patterson, that's like more or less what do you call that? It doesn't exalt. You make it up in your mind and stuff like that. And it's bizarre because he writes about murders and twisted things. That's really what it is. It's really twisted. And at the end of the book, it's like, oh, you didn't think that person did it. So it's interesting.
I'm more of a science fiction kind of guy. Like, I'm sure you heard of Michael Crichton.
Not really.
He was
that's okay.
he wrote the Jurassic Park series. So.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Basically, that's with James Patterson, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Then if I saw a book of his, I'd probably pick it up and read it and stuff.
Something like it. Yeah.
No, right now I usually I read like philosophy books once in a while. And right now I'm reading this really cool book called Aurora. It just came out. They're apparently making a movie about it. I picked it up when I was in LA over the summer.
Cool.
It's about so like there's this thing called like a Carrington event. Do you have any idea what that is?
Not really.
It's essentially back in like the 1930, not 19. I think it was like 1914. Long time ago, like back when there was like almost no technology.
Time,
yeah. way back. But there's so obviously the sun pulsates and stuff. It has solar flares and whatnot, and sometimes these solar flares that emit from the sun, they end up they're so big that they end up kind of like crashing into Earth's magnetic field, and like we get bombarded with these things all the time. It's just our magnetic field, and I'm not a scientist, so I might be screwing this up somehow, but it's just like in relation to the book. We get bombarded with these flares all the time. Now sometimes these flares, and this is what happened in like the early 1900s and during the Carrington event, is that a solar flare was so big that it basically like completely destroyed Earth's magnetic field for like a few days or so or something like that. And essentially the effect was like a giant EMP across the entire world. Now at the time
okay.
Yeah, but it didn't really affect us that much because at the time the only technology we had was like what are they called? Not teleprompters. What was it? It was like like the Morse code things. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That was literally it. So like for like a day, like no one could like speak to each other, and then like everything went back to normal after that. But essentially, this book I'm reading is in spoilers. It happens again, but it's in modern day. So if you think, like imagine not being able to like use like Morse code with someone. Well, now if we got hit with another Carrington event, everything with power would go out all at the same time.
Okay.
So it's a really good book so far. It's a good read. That's like my one fear with like. I'm more afraid of another Carrington event happening more than like I would say like another pandemic or like a flood or like some like if what was it the Yellowstone supervolcano exploded, like because those are very well. I guess a pandemic definitely affects the whole world.
Sure does.
It's as we've seen.
Sure did.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Did you train during COVID? Like I remember.
No,
you didn't?
we didn't. No. Because it's hard.
Yeah.
Because what happens is that people volunteer their time and They're, and they were a little leery about volunteering their time, and so we just didn't do anything.
Do
I think the world didn't do anything.
Oh no, I remember the the first few days of it that we were so excited because we had no school and we're like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, no
right,
school for
sure.
2 weeks, let's go.
And then after that, it's like, oh, I can't go anywhere. I can't do this. I can't do right. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it is a novelty for
Oh,
everybody.
it was phenomenal. And then like after week 3, I'm like, okay, when's this gonna end? Like
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
so bored.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although it kind of helped me in a sense because that's when I started getting back into really working out and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it was like
Oh,
a
yeah, a lot
it's
of
like a
people
double
did
edged
that.
sword.
Right. A lot of people did a lot of different things because they
Hmm.
had a lot of time on their hands. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and some people didn't do that much, and others did. It's just like a person by person.
Yeah. The
You know,
personal thing.
yeah, yeah. Um, so like, so you do a lot of training, that's for sure. Um, so what was it like running your first 5K?
I loved it.
You
It
loved it.
was freeing. It was so actually when I was doing it with my trainer Billy, it was so freeing, so freeing.
Hmm. Like how so? Like
Love
just like being outside
Oh
or
yeah, just being out and just going and just going. It was free. It's just a free feeling.
hmm. And what do you remember most about it?
Um, most I remember is that was my first race. Never did it before,
Mm-hmm.
and people were going ahead of me, and I was like, oh wow. And some of them people were running a little because we run a little bit and then we walk,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, and my trainer, she just kept saying, keep going, you can do it, you can do it. And I did as best as I can for it. I did not know when you train for any kind of race because when I first joined Achilles, we did it. Excuse me, we did it on Zoom, and I wanted to sign up as being an athlete, and I said, oh, I can walk, and that was, and they, well, let me tell you, it's not that kind of a walk because
Mm-hmm.
you got to walk real fast, and then you do have to run, and I learned that
Yeah.
it's not as easy as you think it is.
Oh no, anything over a mile is just not easy in the
No,
slightest. 5K is that's 3 miles,
yeah,
3.5 miles, 3 miles.
3 miles.
I remember doing 5K. I see. I train a lot too. I try to
Mm-hmm.
run a 5K every day. That's
Good
usually
for you.
that's usually my training regiment. Like I live near the school that I am doing the podcast in currently, about like 10 minutes away and stuff. And there's a nice little sandwich shop about halfway to the school. It's about
Mm-hmm.
1.5 miles, I'd say 1.5, 1.6. And it used to be that I would run to the school, do like some weightlifting, and then run back, which is about 5 miles or so.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just not sustainable. Not because I got so tired, but because I would get such bad blisters on the bottoms of my
Oh
feet
yeah,
that
yeah.
like by the time I reached school, I could barely like walk
Walk.
because like it was just all. At the time I didn't have like Reebok workout
Right.
like all the
You didn't have
socks,
the proper
special
shoes.
socks.
That's what it was. Yeah, you
No,
didn't have the proper equipment.
yeah. No, I had the shoes. They're a little bit big. They're hand me downs from my dad and stuff. So I don't have like personalized running shoes, but they work. I run in them all the time. I just didn't have like the socks. Like the people don't realize like how much damage you can like input onto your skin if you just apply moisture.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I've ran miles, just like 1 mile, and I would start getting blisters on my feet because the
Oh yeah.
socks are like as you said, like the improper equipment makes a
Exactly.
huge difference.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You're right.
And I'm wearing. I got these new Reebok socks that I'm hoping. See, they say they're moisture resistant. I don't think anything's moisture resistant if there's enough moisture. It's
I don't think so either. No,
no.
when
Yeah.
you run and you walk, you sweat.
Oh yeah, no. You move around
When
your
you're in a
sweat
race, yeah, yeah.
if it's hot enough and stuff. That's why I like working out in the fall mostly because it actually kind of helps with like not getting blisters because it's just cold enough where your feet kind of remain cool.
Yep.
I like that.
Well, that's why Achilles. That's why we don't. I think a lot of people don't in the summertime. That's why they don't have a lot. Excuse me. They don't have a lot of races because it's too hot. You can't race it's too hot.
Mm. Hmm.
So that's the reason why I think reason why they don't have any races. I know we haven't had any because it was too hot in the summer. You couldn't race. You couldn't walk. You couldn't. The humidity and the heat. You can't do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would definitely do that. Do you train a lot, like in your neighborhood, or you go to a gym or something to go on a treadmill?
No, no, I'm thinking of going to doing tomorrow. No, basically, excuse me, every morning I walk. Where I live, I walk. There's an area that I walk.
Mm-hmm. How long is that?
And
How long is it usually?
a good half hour. I walk a good half hour
Oh,
every day.
that's good. So that's
Yeah.
about, let's see, if I walk, so 5 miles for me, that's about an hour. So half an hour. So like about 2 miles or so, 2.5 miles.
I don't know. It all depends. I don't. I really. I don't keep track.
You just
I
there
just
for the fun.
That's it. I just do it for. I do it for fun.
Do you,
I enjoy exercise. I've always enjoyed exercise. I was started exercises when I was exercising when I was in my 20s, and I continued. I always liked to exercise.
I love exercising. It's the best.
Yeah, yeah, I do too.
There's nothing. There's like especially with cardio. Like I used to be on a football team back in my high school days. I'm a grad student now, so that's like 5 years ago.
Uh huh.
And I used to weightlift a lot. I didn't do that much cardio. I was terrible with my endurance and stuff. I was a big lineman, and then I lost weight and stuff, and now I do cardio all the time. Cardio, like doing like a 5K every morning, like it sucks waking up for it, but actually doing it, like when you're about halfway through it, it's like the best. Like there's just something
Sure,
about.
because you're endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
And the more exercise you do, you get more energetic. Yeah.
I love it. Like there's just something about like just getting really sweaty.
Yeah.
And it's just like it makes you kind of like you can go through your day a little bit more calm. Like you're not stressing out as much. Like it's a phenomenal stress reliever. Like I don't know,
Right.
is that like that's what you said the endorphins or something like that?
Right, the endorphins. They call it the endorphins. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm glad for it though. Like honestly, if it wasn't for the cardio and stuff, like I wouldn't be here. Well, I would be here today. What am I saying? But it's it's definitely like changed my life for the better. I gotta say, all that cardio. Even though like when when you first start doing it, it's not because like that
Right.
all like I wish I can. There's like some other way of like getting it perhaps so like more people. I feel like if it was easier, just a little bit easier to like obtain like that sort of runner's high or something, that more people would be willing to like exert themselves in a sense, but
Yeah.
you have to work for it, like
Yeah. In order to get it.
and the funny thing is too is that the more you do it, the harder it is to actually get it. So like it's almost like a drug kind of thing where
Yeah.
you build up a
Exactly.
tolerance, and so you have to do it more
Yeah.
and
You
more.
build up your tolerance towards it.
Like
Yeah.
I used to only like run a mile and stuff, and that would like get me winded, and now like I could run 5 miles, and that like I could still go farther. Like if it wasn't for the blisters, I could probably do 10 miles a day if I really wanted to,
Right.
you know But yeah, it's like it feels good. Like I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
same thing as
exactly.
weightlifting.
Right. Yeah.
I love that stuff. Do you like cardio more? Or you like the weightlifting that you do?
I've done weightlifting. I like cardio.
Hmm.
I like cardio. I'm happy right now what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, I mean like the you said before you do like the small or low weight high reps. I mean technically that's cardio in a
Right, but
sense.
that's on machine. You got to remember that's on machines because I go to a gym and I do it on the machine. I do it on the machines, and what
Oh.
they do is yeah, and what they do is you're gonna so many they have different weights when you do the machines, and it's fine. I mean it a lot of people go and it works for me, and I'm happy with it, and that's all that excuse me that's all that counts,
Hmm.
especially at my age. And there's a lot of people that do go to gym too.
Do you try to have other people in your I'm sorry. What was the name of your association again? The
National Blind Association.
um do you have do you try to like have other people in
Yes, there's
your
other people that are in Achilles
or
that from national to the national blind. What they do is Achilles is for people that are disabled,
mm-hmm.
any kind of disability. And there's a few of us that train to race. We run and we walk.
Yeah.
There's somebody that's doing a 10K that I know of, and he's going up to Hartford. We're going up to Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, there's a few of us that enjoy that kind of stuff. I'm not saying everybody.
Yeah. But do you
And it's
try to
like
like
everything else.
or maybe not even just with Achilles, just like working out in general. Like do you
I
try to
always
promote
did.
it to a
I
lot of people?
always did. Yeah, like I said, I always did. I
Mm-hmm.
always liked working out, and now I still like working out. And I'm fortunate that there's a gym right up the street from me, and somebody takes me, and I go.
Hmm. So I'm guessing like how often do you go to this particular gym?
It depends. Sometimes three, sometimes 4 times a week. I don't know. It depends how I feel when I'm up. If I'm tired and I think, no, I'm not going to go today.
Mm.
I'm not going to go today. Towards the end of the week, I got usually get tired.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
it's always the end of the week and stuff. Like on a Friday, you're like, I'd rather
Right.
just stay sleep in. Or no, the worst is like after going out at night at like a club or a friend's house and stuff and having fun. It's always the morning afterward. We're like, oh, I really just want to sleep in. Just want to sleep in. But for me personally, I try to work out every single day, no matter if I'm tired or not. You know. Yeah. About the gym. Do you have a guide when you're at the
Yes,
gym?
I do. I have a guide.
Hmm. And like,
Yeah, that's how I do it.
did they just like lead you to all the different machines around the
They
gym?
take me to the machine. They put me on the machines. They
Mm.
set the weights up,
Mm.
and then I do my exercise. And then when I'm done, they come back and they take me, put me on my next machine, and that's how we do it.
Hmm. Do you know what kind of gym you go to?
I go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah. See, a lot of people like they always say that Planet Fitness is like the worst one out of all of them and stuff because it's like cheap and stuff and yada yada yada. I've been to a Planet Fitness here in Hampton. It's not bad. Like the only gripe I have against it is that there's not enough like free weights. I like using dumbbells and stuff more than
Mm-hmm.
machines personally,
Mm-hmm.
but you could
Mm-hmm.
still do a lot with machines.
There's a lot of people that go. I have to tell you, there's a lot of people that go. A lot of people that go to Planet Fitness, and I'm happy with it. That's all that counts from as far as I'm concerned. I know there's a couple of the Edge, and I guess a couple of other places, but I'm happy, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all that counts. I go to Planet Fitness. I go there, and I enjoy it. Come home, and I'm gonna get. In fact, I'm gonna get ready to go out shortly because I have to go. I have a dentist appointment, and then I'll be out and about. But I feel good because I exercised today.
Yeah, I'm planning on exercising in the school gym after this podcast. I'm gonna be doing
Okay,
that.
good.
I have
Good.
I just started a new regiment where I do a lot of weightlifting and cardio. Uh, like what I try to do is, or what I'm gonna try to do, especially when I get back from home, because I'm leaving for home this weekend, which is why unfortunately you're not I'm not gonna be at the Hartford race this weekend just because I have some family business and stuff. But you'll see Aaron Spalding, our president of Achilles International, and
Of course.
and
Erin's going to be there. Yeah, I'm
oh
going to
yeah,
see her there.
and you might run into Jack, the other intern as well. He helps with like producing this
In fact,
podcast.
he's gonna interview me up there.
Yeah, but I wish I was there and stuff to see it, but unfortunately I won't. But I still be able to help.
Okay.
That's the beauty thing with like all the remote work that's kind of like turned up because of the pandemic. It allows for like a lot of flexibility sometimes and like different work scenarios that you won't
Right.
really be able to like um, fix if everything was in person, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So, I mean, you ever like set off the lunk alarm at Planet Fitness, or is that what
Pardon?
it's called? The lunk alarm. You know what that is?
What's no?
It's like if you like are too loud, or apparently if you do too much weight, like a
Oh no no no! I
bodybuilder.
believe me. I'm not. You don't have to worry about me doing that. I'm perfectly fine. I
Oh
just
no,
yeah.
you
I'm good.
sound like the experienced lifter. I'd assume that
Well, I don't
you're
know about that
deadlifting
experience.
400 pounds and stuff.
No. I'm happy in what I do. I've never heard the alarm go off there. And I'm happy with all of it. And I guess really, I mean, there's not much more we can discuss. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think we've covered it all.
You think so?
Yes, sir.
Well, Marilyn, I gotta say it was a love talking to you and stuff. Love learning about all the your different programs and like your regiments and stuff.
Right, and also I just want to let you know I belong to the Connecticut Disability Rights Center. Also,
The Connecticut Disability Center.
Connecticut Disability Rights Center.
Where is that located?
That's we have two offices, and usually I go to the one in West Haven, and that's on 369 Highland Street in West Haven, and I'm on the board of director there.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
awesome. All right.
yeah.
In that case, Marilyn, pleasure talking with you. I hope your dentist appointment goes well. Personally, I'm not a big dentist guy. Don't like people sticking metal things in my mouth, but you know what?
I don't either, but you know what? I want good teeth. I hope so.
Don't we all? That is the goal. I'd assume.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right then.
Well,
In
it
that
was a
case,
pleasure.
same to you. Very glad talking to you today.
You have a good day.
You too, ma'am. Yeah, you take
Thank
care.
you. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye. That was Marilyn Wenzel, everyone. So yeah, there's going to be a race in Hartford coming up this weekend on Saturday. I'm not going to be there, so anyone listening in, you won't see me. I know, very terrible ordeal, but you'll see the rest of the Achilles team there. And I mean, if you're there, you might as well join the race as well. No harm done, you know. But with that, I'd like to say thanks for tuning in, and until the next episode, bye bye.